Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where we're going to be doing a reaction and review to BRIDEAR with Dear Bride. Well, as you always know, I've just done the reaction. This is the review video. If you want to see the reaction, then pause this one, click the link in the description below, which will open a separate little YouTube player where you can see me reacting to the song for the very first time, if you want to see that, or if you just haven't heard the song before. If you're ready for the review though, here it comes. Ready? Review time. Okay, so this one, I got to admit, having heard the last two are a bit of a more of a darker, metally sound. So I guess in a way I could be accused of bias if I were to say this was my favourite one. But there's a couple of reasons why I think this comes off best of all for me. And ironically, I think one of the reasons is that in a strange way, this does feel like this suits them better as well. Now, the other two songs were really good. I enjoyed them on their own merit. But what happened here is that there was, like I said, it was a kind of a mixture of various things. The sound was kind of metally, hard rock. It was, lots of heavy sounds, octave guitar solos and riffs and things like that. And then you had, a lot of sort of really heavy distortion, a big heavy beat and all of that kind of thing. However, the writing was kind of more almost like a pop rock song. And you know what? In a weird way, it really worked for them. The melody that went throughout this song was really brilliant. I loved it. It was so easy to follow. It felt, genuinely infused with a sense of emotion. You could really, even if you don't pick up the lyrics, you could really feel what this song was about just from the melody, which is, that's good writing. And the chorus, like I say, I wasn't even able to totally identify what the chorus was first time round, but by the end it was really kind of getting to me, and I would say it's one that I would actually consider a grower to the point of being catchy. So this would be one that I would be quite likely and inclined to come back around to, because it just felt like it was engaging, really. And what worked most of all, what I think really helped about this, is that using that knowledge of the metal sound, or the hard rock sound, however you would describe what their sound is, worked in this because it meant that they had a more thick sound overall. So the riffing that was being done by the guitars sounded nice. It was like nice and high pitched, and like I say, that octave style playing was over the top of everything else. It kind of gave colour to things. It gave a brightness to the tone. And then underneath you had a really thick core with the bass, and sort of the more rhythmy sounds were really chugging along, giving a real size and scale to the song. Drum beat was nice. Like I say, it had a good punch, so it meant that you could bob your head along to it. And, got a vocalist who can really, got a good pair of lungs, can blast it out. And, it sounded just competent, but powerful as well. It sounded like taking a simple formula and playing it with, almost an excessive amount of scale, impact, and energy. And that's great. You should always play beyond the material if you can, sort of really, give a sense of passion to it. And this felt like something that had a lot of passion, power, and, just, like I say, taking something that, essentially speaking, is like a pop rock song, and infusing it with enough energy to make it feel like something more. So I really like those factors about it. We'll come back to the bridge thing again, because like I say, we're always on this channel, we give the positive and the negative. Yeah, I gotta admit, I was a little bit sad again that the bridge was just solo back in to the chorus again. However, in this case, it kind of worked. It felt okay, because there had been so much wonderful melody in the rest of the song. The rest of the song was so melodically engaging that, if anything, maybe having a sung melodic bridge would have actually been a letdown in of itself, because of the fact that, it would have been not so colourful, because the rest of the song was doing that. So if anything, the solo felt more like it was variation here from the rest of the song, whereas maybe it doesn't in the other songs, where there is more actual solo and riff work, of its happening, where the guitars are forefront for more of the song. So when they come into the solo in the bridge, it doesn't feel quite as special as it does here, where the guitar is kind of background, like say, colouring for the best part. So yeah, that kind of worked more. However, once again, I can't help but feel that when, if nothing else, when they're doing the solos, I would like to hear the music underneath do something a bit more interesting. They could have done like a key change. Something as simple as a key change would have just added more to it. And, because Again, I know this is a bit stereotypical, but considering we've now had 3 songs I've heard by them, and the bridge in each case has kind of followed a very, very simple formula, just throwing something simple, like something simple but different in there would have been really interesting. So like I say, just maybe a key change in there, or maybe more of a breakdown, or maybe a slight change to the rhythm in the solo, just to sort of mean that it can take a slight left turn and then throw itself back in with more energy into the final chorus would be good. But like I say, these are small thoughts in this song in particular, considering this song basically worked. Like I said, I think it's a grower as well. I think it's one that the more you listen to it, the more you will get caught by the chorus, because it's a nice, engaging chorus that, like I say, I just think it's got a real melodic quality to it. It's really well written melody. And again, the thickness of that metal playing meant that there was some real sort of good, there was a real good power to what was happening underneath. Although this song, more than most of their other songs, was fairly strummy. A lot of 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord. Not so much of the fast twiddle. So yeah, like I say, I think most of what I want to say about this song is relatively simple, and mostly about its comparison to both the other songs we've heard by BRIDEAR, as well as sort of pop rock songs which share more in common with the writing style of Dear Bride. So yeah, like I say, this is it stands out on that element. It stands out on having a nice fusion quality to it, which I wonder how many other people would maybe see it that way. But I do see this as a kind of a strange fusion. And it reminds me, there was a song that we heard by Aldius that did something quite similar, and I can't remember what it's called now. Someone remind me. the song where I think she was kind of like in I think the video was like set in like a bedroom or something, and she was watching herself on the TV. It had a similar vibe to that, in that it kind of felt like this is a pop rock song being done by a harder edge band than you would usually expect to, and it gave an energy that otherwise would be missing. Anyway, I think I'm kind of repeating the point there. I think you get what I mean by it. This is nice because, like I say, it adds a bit of variation in the 3 songs that I've heard thus far. It gives me something different from what I've heard from them previously, and for that I enjoy it. And I would say maybe I'm slightly biased towards this more because I'm kind of more into these songs than I would usually be into more metal-y songs. Like I say, that's not always the case. Just I think more often I'm into this style of music. However, I do think this just generally kind of works really well with their sound, and I think they played it fantastically. They don't feel like fish out of water at all. They feel completely at home in this song. And the video, just to point out quickly, bright, extremely simple, but it worked. It was nicely cut. It was nicely edited. And I did like seeing the joy of playing the music on their faces. I know you can't do that in harder edge songs. You've got to look more serious. And nothing wrong with that. But in a way, I kind of see when you're enjoying a band and when you're getting into a band, I like to see them with a smile on their face as well, occasionally enjoying the songs, because, music's about enjoying it. So, yeah. Like I say, good stuff. Really enjoyed. So as always, get in the comments. Tell me what you think. Whether you like the song or not, whether you know the artist or not, all of this stuff. Get in there, because it's all about the discussion. Music is subjective after all. I'm looking forward to seeing those comments and hopefully replying to them as many as I can. I do read them all, even if I don't get a chance to reply to them all. And as always, remember, you can like, subscribe, or you can get more involved in the discussions by following our Discord or Reddit, which are also linked in the description below, as well as Facebook, Twitter, our merch page, and Patreon. Love you, my Patreon friends. You really, really, really are the lifeblood of all of this. So big thank you to you, and thank you for making it through to the end of this video, through all of the waffle. It is greatly appreciated to see you here. So until I hopefully see you soon on the next video from Japan, for now, ciao ciao.